My name is Marilyn Centner, and I'm me all the time. Okay, well, I had a very good childhood. I grew up during the Great Depression of the 30s. I was a very lively, talkative child. I'd talk everybody's our ears off. And I had a lot of fun. I was born in November 1929, right after the Great Depression started, and grew up during the Depression and World War II, so I know a lot of history. I've lived it. My daddy worked for an oil company. He didn't make much money, but we moved in a lot of rental houses, and some of them were very cold. My sister and I were very close because during the war, my daddy was in the service, and we moved all over, and I had a brother 12 years younger. My mother was very strict, and my father was sort of cold and forbidding, but he was very kind in a way. He was very good to us. He's the one who taught me to read when I had trouble in the first grade. He got index cards and made flashcards and taught me to read. Once I learned to read, I never got my nose out of a book. I met this fella. He was a veteran of World War II. He was a fraternity man at Southern Methodist University, and we started dating. And I got really involved with him. And when I was 17, we ran away and got married. He was 24. We had 4 children in 8 years. I had a girl and 3 boys, and it was a very bad marriage. He had been raised in an orphanage, and he had no idea how to be a husband or a father. He yelled at me a lot and told me how stupid I was. Well, I survived it. You see, I didn't let it get me down. And what I did was, I used to just grit my teeth and think, I'm gonna get out of this. I couldn't leave because I had no way to support my children. And so I went through all this, and when I was 32 years old, I asked him if he would help me go to college so I could help pay for our daughter to go to college. And she was very bright, was an honor student, and he knew she would need to go to college, so he said he would do it. And I went to North Texas State University, and I commuted 50 miles each way every day. That's when I learned I had a mind, and I enjoyed using it. I loved it. I loved college. When I was 36 years old, I got my degree and I got a divorce. Went to graduate school after I got my divorce, and I supported my children for 2 years while I went to graduate school and got my master's degree. So I took my only son I had left. He was about 10 years old, and loaded up a U-Haul and moved to Lake City, Florida, where I knew absolutely no one, 1,000 miles away.
Thanks.
I was 38 years old. Crazy thing to do, I guess, but it worked out very well. Got there and loved the job and loved working, and made a lot of friends, and met a nice man there named Tom Centner. This fella kept coming over to my apartment in the evening and sitting and talking forever, and I thought he would never go home. I was tired. I wanted to go to bed. Finally, he asked me out, and we dated, had a lot of fun. When we married, I found out he was 10 years younger than I was, which didn't bother him. I felt sort of embarrassed by it. I was 40 years old when we got married, and he was 29.
Look at you.
I was a cougar before I knew what a cougar was. My husband died in 1996. After 26 wonderful years of marriage, he had a heart attack and died just like that. I couldn't believe it. He was only 56 years old. It seemed like cruel fate, but I had finally found a man who loved me the way I wanted to be loved. I had almost convinced myself that I didn't know how to be a good wife or have a happy marriage, and I finally did it. My name is Marilyn Centner, and this is my life story.